Hey man, let me hit you with a hard truth, right from the start. You don't lose her by saying no, you lose her by saying yes to everything. You lose her the moment you abandon your standards to accommodate hers. You lose her when you silence your truth to avoid conflict. You lose her when you shapeshift into the man she wants instead of standing tall as the man you are. And what happens next? You become easy to control, easy to manipulate, easy to walk over. But the man who says no early, the man who sets the tone with quiet confidence, he earns her respect before he ever earns her heart. You see, most men fear rejection more than they fear regret, so they avoid saying no. They think if I just agree with her, she'll like me more. But what she actually feels? Disappointment. Because deep down, she doesn't want a yes man. She wants a man who knows where he stands. A man who can challenge her, lead her, stabilize her. The man who agrees with everything she says, that man becomes invisible. But the man who calmly says, no, that doesn't work for me, he becomes unforgettable. When you say no early in the relationship, you communicate something deeper than just disagreement. You show her you're not afraid to lose her, and that scares her, but it also awakens her. Because now you're not another guy hoping to be picked, you're a man choosing himself. You've drawn a line, you've made it clear, this is who I am, this is what I allow, this is where I stand. And now, she has to decide if she's willing to rise to your level. Too many men start relationships from a place of emotional submission. They chase, they overgive, they tolerate things they shouldn't, and every time they swallow their boundaries for love, they lose another piece of self-respect. Saying no is the opposite of submission, it's leadership. It tells her, I am not here to be molded, I am here to be matched. And that energy, it's rare, it's masculine, it's what separates the kings from the crowd. Think about it. When you say no early, you don't just protect yourself, you test her. You test how she reacts to boundaries, to structure, to masculine order. Because if she respects your no, she respects you. But if she pushes it, argues it, mocks it, that's not love, brother. That's manipulation dressed as passion. And the longer you allow it, the deeper it rewires your relationship to be about compliance instead of connection. She will test you, especially in the beginning. She'll make subtle requests, push your schedule, challenge your opinions, and how you respond sets the entire tone of the relationship. If you fold early, she knows she can bend you. But if you stand strong, not with ego, but with calm certainty, she feels it. That unshakable presence, that internal compass, that backbone, and that's when she starts seeing you as the man, not just a man. Let me be real with you. Saying yes all the time isn't kindness, it's fear. It's the fear of conflict, the fear of disapproval, the fear of being alone. But a man who fears being alone will always be controlled by the need to be chosen. And if you need to be chosen more than you need to be respected, you'll become everything she wants and nothing she desires. Saying no builds mystery, it builds depth. It tells her, there's more to this man than what he gives me. And that intrigue, that tension, that's what keeps attraction alive. She doesn't fall for your availability, she falls for your strength, your ability to disappoint her without guilt, to disagree without fear, to remain true to yourself, especially when it's inconvenient. Look at the most desired men in history. They weren't yes men, they were decisive, clear, they had lines you didn't cross. They weren't cruel, but they were non-negotiable, and that's what made them attractive, not just to women, but to the world. Because the man who can say no in a relationship is also the man who can say no to distractions, to weakness, to mediocrity. He's built different. Women feel safety and boundaries. They won't say it, but they feel it. A man with clear limits makes her relax. Why? Because she knows she's with someone who leads, not pleads. Someone who can contain chaos, not contribute to it. The man who says no to things that threaten his peace, protects her peace too. That's what leadership is. It's emotional integrity in motion. Your no needs no explanation. It's not a debate, it's a reflection of your values. And the earlier you show her you're willing to say it, the quicker she learns that this relationship won't be built on manipulation, guilt trips, or emotional blackmail. It'll be built on mutual respect, and that foundation, that's what turns a fling into something formidable. So why do most guys avoid saying no early? Because they think they'll scare her off, and maybe you will. But guess what? If your no sends her running, she was never the right one anyway. because the right woman will feel your standards and respect them. She'll feel the edge in your words and lean in, not run. She'll test you and then trust you because you passed. Let's get one thing clear. Women don't remember the guys who agreed with them. They remember the men who challenged them with grace, who made them think, who forced them to self-reflect, who didn't let attraction override alignment. And all of that begins the first time you look her in the eye and calmly say, "No, that's not who I am." And once you say no early, you create a relationship blueprint. Now she knows where the walls are. Now she knows what's sacred, what's non-negotiable. Now she has to meet you in truth, not just comfort. And that space of honesty, that's where real connection lives, not in pleasing, in presence. You don't say no to punish her. You say no to protect yourself. And when a man protects himself first, he can protect everyone around him better. That's why the most emotionally available men are also the most emotionally disciplined, because they don't hand out pieces of themselves to people who haven't earned it. They guard their fire and only let those close who can respect the flame. Saying no early isn't rude, it's real. It says, "This is my standard, this is how I live. If you want access to me, it has to align with this. And if she doesn't respect that, let her go." Don't chase, because when you chase disrespect, you teach it how to treat you. But when you let it walk, you teach it to regret you. And don't get it twisted, this isn't about dominance, it's about direction. A man who can say no early has direction. He knows what he wants. He's not figuring it out as he goes. He's not molding to fit her vibe. He is the vibe, and the second she senses that, everything shifts. Her tone changes, her behavior adjusts, because now she's dealing with someone who won't break just to belong. This is the power of saying no early. It makes you real, not just another guy trying to be liked, but a man with substance, with edges, with code. And that code? That's what separates the rare from the replaceable, because the men who can't say no become her emotional furniture, comfortable, convenient, forgettable. You are not here to be liked, you're here to be respected. And the only men who get respected are the ones who can walk away from anything that dishonors their standards. Even if it's wrapped in beauty, even if it comes with butterflies, even if it feels good in the moment, because they know long-term peace is better than short-term validation. So from this day forward, say no when you feel it, without flinching, without guilt, without trying to soften it. You don't owe comfort, you owe truth. And the man who can deliver truth early, he becomes the man no woman can forget.